Welcome to the Old Glory Renovations Podcast, the podcast about home renovations from the home renovations experts. Hosted by Rob Hefner and Mike Landry. The Old Glory Renovations Podcast wants to show you how to enjoy your home renovations.
Rob's show taught me a lot.
Choosing the right contractor for the job doesn't have to be scary, and home renovations are built to enjoy and be fun.
I got so much more for my money.
Now, here are your hosts for the Old Glory Renovation Podcast, Rob Hefner and Mike Landry.
Good morning, guys. It's Mike Landry with Old Glory Renovations Podcast today. Rob and I are going to be talking about bathroom remodeling today. Rob, what's happening?
It's just another beautiful day in this world, isn't it?
We're going to be talking about the hottest thing in remodeling today, which are bathroom redos, refreshes, or total redesigns.
Yes, there's a whole lot of things you could do in a bathroom, but anything you do in there kind of amps up the whole space. It amps up the whole house. It just makes it a more comfortable place to be.
Now, back in the day, the trend was, huge garden tubs, and the Tuscan thing was hot at one point. I mean, it was hot for like a couple of decades.
Yeah, it was.
Big stone, huge spaces, all of this. What's trending now?
Well, the garden tubs, I call them laundry hampers because that's what happens to them most of the time. The garden tubs, a lot of times, are coming out and getting an oversized shower in their place with benches and niches in the wall to put stuff and overhead shower heads and all that kind of thing.
A lot of the design pictures that I've seen online, it seems to have gone from this Tuscan, ornate, high color contrast to these clean lines, more of a contemporary, a lot of grays and white blends, monochromatic feel.
Right, a lot of gray and white, but muted colors. We don't want anything solid white, but just plain gray isn't always what people are looking for. We see a lot of oversized tiles where showers used to be small tiles at most 12 inches square. Now we're getting 12 by 36 tiles in the shower, that kind of thing. Bigger tiles, bigger product that gives you a cleaner, more aesthetic look.
That's inside the shower, right?
That's inside
or tub
the shower.
surrounds and stuff.
Right.
What about flooring? What's trending there?
About the same thing. When you walk into a bathroom, you want it to feel like it's cohesive from a color perspective. So if you're going to use a big format tile in the shower, you don't want to have little ones out on the floor. It would just look funny. So carrying that same color and pattern, not complementary colors, all the way through the bathroom, from the floors to the walls to the shower, is what people are really looking at doing right now. That's a lot of the refreshes that we get.
Okay, you bring up refreshes. So there's three categories that your company deals with. And so that customer with a bathroom remodel is going to fit in one of these boxes, right? So refresh, a redo, or a redesign. So let's talk about, what does refresh mean?
Well, refresh, over the years, bathrooms can get a little dingy, etc. So in a refresh, we'll go in and repaint the walls, maybe replace some light fixtures, some plumbing fixtures. One of the things that we always want to do is go into the shower or the bath and clean out the old grout and make sure that the seal on anything that has water close to it is where it needs to be. Now, on a refresh, we're not going to replace a tile or cabinets or all that kind of thing. We're just going to take what it is and freshen it up and make it look new.
So it's kind of like getting some veneers from the dentist. You're gonna pimp out the light fixtures. You're gonna pimp out the fixtures, the plumbing fixtures, and you're gonna pimp out the wall colors.
And that smile will be just as bright.
All right, which brings us to the next category, which would be a redo.
Well, in a redo, we may be replacing the tile as well. We may take out a surround in a bathtub or a shower and put new tile in there, replace the cabinets, replace the countertops. But we're not changing the design of the bathroom. We're just replacing the components to make them all new again. And that's, I would say, 60% of what we do in bathrooms, and we do a lot of them, is a redo. They don't want to completely change everything, they want to completely change everything, but they may not have the structure to do a full redesign.
Right, but what they're wanting to do is update the aesthetics in that space.
Right. They want to take those flaky gold fixtures out of the way and the Formica countertop and that old tub that hasn't been used in years, and they want to get that and make it look new and fresh again across the board. The tile, that Tuscan style that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
They want to get that out and get that cohesive color throughout and that comfortable feel that you can really create in a bathroom if you take your time.
Now that, and what really is interesting is what provokes these opportunities or these motivations to redo these bathrooms are liner failures where they've gotten leaks. Now that some people have mold behind the walls or having issues with moving in the structures.
We're starting one next week.
And so, and some people are just tired of looking at the stuff. You know what I mean? They want something new. So there's a variety of things that provoke that, but the number one failure in homes is a shower pan. Number one.
And that's the one that we're starting next week. A shower pan failed, leaked into the wall behind it. When water started showing up on the downstairs ceiling, tracked it down, found out where the leak was coming from. Now we're having to redo the shower, redo a lot of sheetrock, deal with the mold. If there's mold there, I'm sure there is. But we got to open it up before we can see.
Okay, so before we start talking about a redesign, are there any challenges that you run into with specific age homes or type homes that need to be considered in terms or would limit applications for the consumer?
There are. There's always things that worry me when I go into a bathroom. When I look in the shower and it has an acrylic shower pan, which there's nothing wrong with the acrylic shower pans, but when you look around at the bottom and you see a dark line there where the grout's supposed to be, that worries me. The acrylic shower pans are designed with a lip on the outside edge, so they shouldn't leak. Shouldn't being the operative word there.
Right.
So it always worries me what we're going to find once we get into that. So keep an eye on that kind of thing and making sure that it's addressed before it gets to be a real problem.
All right. So let's move into total redesign of the space.
Now those are always fun. We looked at one up in Baytown. That one's still pending. They have little kids that became big kids and have different needs for a bathroom. They come home with their grandkids now, and that old bathroom just isn't working. They wanted more storage space. They wanted a shower instead of a garden tub, or that one didn't have a garden tub, but they wanted a shower instead of a tub. So that one was completely redesigning everything, changing closet sizes in the bedrooms adjacent to it so that we could expand the shower, redoing a wall so that we could make more space walking into the bathroom. And I'll get back to that in just a second. But that's a complete redesign of the bathroom space itself, adding more everything, not just using the same shell and redoing it.
Now, one trend with the tubs that has been super popular are these clawfoot tubs, these freestanding.
Oh, they're beautiful, aren't
because they look like furniture, right?
Yeah.
I've put tons of those things in homes, and you know the one thing when you're talking about redesign, it typically is redefining that entire space. So you're going to have more cabinets, you're going to have more lights, more switches. You're going to have much bigger shower environment. Instead of touching it on left and right with your elbows, you're going to have these things you could literally put a party in some of the size of these showers.
One we did, it was a shower that literally you could stand in it, a 32-inch shower pan square. You could stand in it and touch all four walls with your elbows.
That's the little ones. That's what they're getting rid of.
Yeah, but there was a big garden tub right across from it, full of clothes.
Yeah.
So we took out that garden tub. We put in a great big shower with a center opening door, 2 shower heads, 2 benches, 2 sets of controls inside the shower, and we took that old shower, capped off everything in it, and they had an extra linen closet.
And the other thing is, a lot of the women want more closet space. You know, big closets are super trendy with these bathroom redos. I mean, they want more closet space. I mean, women buy clothes like they're going to run out of them. Okay,
You've met my wife. You can imagine my closet space requirements with all the fancy dresses she has. Yeah, we seriously considered using a bedroom for a closet.
Exactly. I'm telling you right now, you give me 4 foot on a wall and I'm good to go, baby. And, but women need buildings for all the stuff. The shoes, I mean, they buy those shoes for 20 or 30 or 50 bucks. We pay hundreds.
But you know what? I've had customers and had friends that needed as much closet space as their significant others, their wives did. So really, the size of the closet space is it adequate to the owner's demands, to their needs?
Let me tell you how people think. Okay, if there is a hole, it must be filled, right? So that's the way the brain works, right?
Right.
If you go create a big hole, it's going to get filled.
But try selling a home that has little bitty tiny closets, because big closets are a good thing to do. And when you redesign a bathroom, sometimes you can create closet space. Sometimes you have to take it away to get what you want. But it can be a full redesign. Before we get away from redesigns, Mike, one of the things that is really popular these days, and it's relevant to me because I'm not as young as I used to be, is roll-in showers. Something that is wheelchair accessible. Now, there's a whole different conversation about ADA compliant and ADA compatible and all that kind of stuff.
But you do a lot of that work for veterans and for people that have disabilities.
Right, absolutely. A lot of the work I do on the veteran support side, working with SERV, is widening doorways, creating that 5 feet of turnaround space, and roll-in showers.
Grab bars, drop, seats that drop down in the shower. Yeah,
all of that.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up, because there are a lot of people out there that have needs for these homes to be modified for elderly family members, disabled vets, and the sad part is that a lot of these companies out there that provide remodels are not trained to do that, to apply an ADA compliant design to an existing structure. And I'm glad you guys are qualified to do that.
Well, there's ADA compliant means you're going to have an ADA inspector come out and sign off and say it meets all the requirements. That deals with cabinet height, switch height, and all that kind of stuff. And I know we're on a rabbit trail here talking about bathrooms today.
No. That's okay. But what I'm saying is that compliance issue is only relevant in commercial spaces. Right. For the sign off, but you're using the same design standards, that are applied in those environments.
Right, but I don't want a lawyer coming back to me. I use the term ADA compatible.
Okay, well that's a better term.
And ADA compatible means you can get in and out easily. Everything from barn doors, so that you don't have to open a door into a hallway, creating a 5 foot turnaround space, lowering the cabinets, all that kind of stuff. We've done a lot of that, and I actually kind of like those jobs. Makes you feel like you're really doing something, making a difference in somebody's life when you walk out of that, and they can actually go into the bathroom without having to have help getting around the door.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: this is probably one of the most popular remodel projects for women. They love redoing bathrooms and getting and reclaiming new closet space. So this is definitely on the sexy list for women. So we're going to run out to a quick break. And if you guys want to give Old Glory Renovations a call them right now at 281-546-8836. 281-546-8836. You can find them online at oldglorytx.com. Stay with us.
We'll be right back with more of the Old Glory Renovations podcast. Old Glory Renovations revolutionized the industry to put the customer in total control. There's little to no deposit to begin work, weekly invoicing only on completed work, weekly itemized labor and material cost for invoicing, eliminating wasting your money with overpriced turnkey estimates. Their trade labor are on staff and not subcontractors. They don't leave projects sitting dormant for days or weeks or waiting on a subcontractor. They have proper general liability insurance coverage. Call Old Glory Renovations now and take control while maximizing your buying power. Old Glory, trust, honesty, confidence. Taking the fear out of home improvement. 281-546-8836 or online at oldglorytx.com. The Old Glory Renovations Podcast, helping you enjoy your renovations. Now let's get back to Rob and Mike.
Thanks for hanging with us, guys. It's Old Glory Renovations Podcast. Hope you guys are getting some good information here. What we're going to cover now is new technologies and bad ideas.
There's plenty of those out there.
Oh yeah, I get. Yeah. So okay, so Rob, let me ask you a question. New technologies. These are things that you're going to need to consider that are part of, could be part of these bathroom remodels. You know, there's a technology that I can't stand applications that put a cap over ugly and damaged. Okay. You know, the acrylic surface. We're going to redo your bathroom in one day.
Well, the problem with that is you can redo the bathroom and make it look beautiful, but you're not addressing the problems that are already in there. The water that's already in the wall, the leaks that are already in there, the stuff that is growing around that bathroom. So those are you can get that done in a day, and then, 3 to 5 years down the road, I'll get a call from you for a redo.
Okay, so these caps that they pop in there and they come in and do a model form that drops in and caps the tub, right? And then the wall, it's a continuous thing, makes it look like a trailer house. Okay, it's not pretty. It's renewed, gives a visual renewed, fresh look, but it looks like a trailer house.
I've lived in a trailer house before. That's not always a bad thing, but you don't want that look in a $500,000 home, that's for sure.
And you don't want to enclose damaged materials. There might be water that has built up and behind the wall structure. And if that water continues to saturate those studs, it will erode those studs to the point where they need to be replaced. That's your structural support.
Right. And that's what worries me about caps and that kind of stuff. Quick fixes generally aren't quick in the long run.
All right. Electric on-demand water heaters. Let's talk about this technology. I know you're a proponent and advocate.
Yes, I am.
It's a popular technology, and it has been out there for the last 15 years. It's become more of the norm in new construction. But when you're talking about a retrofit, you can't design the house to support the technology. So there's things that need to be considered as to whether that's a reasonable, good upgrade for your application.
Well, when we were talking about bathrooms and clawfoot tubs that take an awful lot of hot water, and showers and multiple bathrooms in the same house, and you need a lot of hot water. So one way that I've used a on-demand water heater before is to service a specific area, so that because it provides all the hot water you want. It's going to take just as long to travel through the pipes as it does from a conventional hot water heater. It's not on-demand immediate.
It's not instant, but it's right. It's in perpetuity once right. It gets there, right?
Right. So if you have something that is just going to consume a whole lot of hot water, adding in a on-demand water heater, I've seen it work very, very well. But they have to be sized properly. They have to be placed properly. And the electric ones, I'm not 100% a fan of. If you put in a gas one, though, they burn a lot of gas. So you have to consider the possibility of having to resize pipes and that kind of stuff. It's not as simple as just let's put this one in and take out the old one.
Yeah, just take out the water heater and pop me in a tankless. So, and you brought up a good point. So the gas units are efficient, but they require a lot of gas. And what happens is that you've got a half. Typically, you have a half-inch gas line coming in, feeding your gas, your fireplace, and if you've got that in the kitchen, right? But if you upgrade to a on-demand gas water heater, you're going to have to upgrade the main supply line coming into the house to 3/4 because it does require a lot more volume. Although it's not expensive to operate, it's very efficient, but it requires a bigger pipe to deliver that gas. So if you're not willing to do that, to get that massive amount of hot water, endless hot water, the backup to that is to add, put in 2 water heaters in tandem, and you should be satisfied with that.
2 water heaters in tandem, the on-demand variety. What it does and why I like doing that on new construction is because it provides almost instantaneous. We did a remodel a while back where we put in a on-demand hot water heater in between 2 bathrooms, and it serviced only those 2 bathrooms. But those 2 bathrooms, it got hot right now. Before the water hit the bottom of the tub, it was already getting warm because the run of the pipe was short enough that it didn't have a lot of cold water to push out of the way. So in an instance like that, absolutely, it's not a terrible idea. But then you're getting into not repiping the entire home, but at least having to repipe some of it.
Right, and the sex appeal for these new plumbing fixtures, and the designs, they're usually putting 2 shower heads in the shower, some body jets in some cases. They're just higher volume fixtures that need more water, right?
Rain heads take a whole lot of water. They're awesome. The coolest one ever built. This is cool, Mike. You'll like this. Had a rain head shower. Had a conventional shower head with a wand on a slider. Had 4 body jets on the walls around it, and it had toe jets down at the bottom, right in front of the shower. But that thing almost had to have a dedicated water line for it because it consumed so much water in operation. Now, you could darn near drown a fish when everything was turned on, but it was cool.
I'm going to tell you, as far as the rain head goes, okay, which I had in the center of I remodeled my bathroom and built a shower in, and I did one of those rain heads. That is the coolest experience you will ever have in a shower. I'm telling you right now, it just like flows over your entire body. It's amazing.
I love them, but they consume a lot of water.
Well, that's what's going over your body. I'm sorry, I didn't want a stream. I wanted a waterfall.
Well, but from a remodeler's perspective, you say you want a shower head waterfall. I'm looking at pipe sizes, and I'm worried about supply lines, and I'm worried about all that stuff in the wall that most homeowners don't care about. They just want a shower head. But I have to consider all of the things that go into getting enough water and the right quantity and the right temperature to that shower head in a timely manner.
Rob.
Yeah.
That's your problem, okay?
That is exactly
here's
my
what
problem.
I want. Make it work. Okay. So we're going to wrap it up today. Good luck with you in your new bathroom remodel. Hopefully we've given you some information that will help you kind of think out and plan and figure out what you want to do. If you have questions, you'd like somebody to come out and give you an estimate from Old Glory Renovations, you can call them at 281-546-8836, 281-546-8836, or just go online to Old Glory TX, that's Texas, oldglorytx.com. Rob?
It's a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to getting to work, and hopefully we can do a few more bathrooms. Those are kind of fun.
Is that the phone ringing?
Yeah, I believe it is.
That's all for this week's Old Glory Renovations podcast. Tune in next week when Mike and Rob help you enjoy your renovations. Find out more at oldglorytx.com.